This is the truth about freelancing. Now, if you're thinking about becoming a freelancer, if you're trying to decide whether or not freelancing is right for you, then you need to know what you're getting yourself into. And this is the truth about freelancing. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome to the channel. Here we talk all things freelancing, entrepreneurship, making money online, and all that good stuff. So before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future uploads. So the first truth about freelancing is that being your own boss is great, but it also means that you have to manage your time effectively. As a freelancer, one of the best parts of the job is that you're your own boss. You get to set your own hours and work when you want to work. However, that also means that you have to manage your time effectively and make sure that you're actually working when you should be working. It's easy to procrastinate and waste time when you're freelancing, but if you want to be successful, you have to make sure that you're using your time wisely. This is something that I struggled with a lot when I first started freelancing. I was used to having a 9-to-5 job where someone else was telling me what to do and when to do it. But when I went out on my own, I had to figure out how to manage my time effectively. It took me some time to get used to, but eventually I got the hang of it, and it became one of the things that I love most about freelancing. I get to be my own boss, and I get to work when I want to work. Just make sure that you use your time wisely. Another thing to keep in mind is that freelancing can be a very lucrative career, but it's important to remember that income can be inconsistent. When you're freelancing, you're essentially running your own business. This means that your income will likely be inconsistent, especially when you're first starting out. Some months you'll make a lot of money, and other months you'll make very little. It's important to keep this in mind and to have a plan in place for when your income is low. One way to do this is to have a savings account with enough money to cover your expenses for at least 3 to 6 months. This way, even if you don't make any money for a few months in a row, you'll still be able to pay your bills. Another thing you can do is to find ways to cut back on your expenses when your income is low. This could mean things like eating out less, canceling your gym membership, or cutting back on other discretionary spending. Finally, you can also look for ways to increase your income when it's low. This could mean taking on more work, raising your rates, or finding new clients. The next truth about freelancing is that language can be a barrier between you and your clients. If you're freelancing in a field that requires a lot of communication with clients, such as writing or translation, then you need to be aware that language can sometimes be a barrier. This doesn't mean that you have to be fluent in every language, but it does mean that you need to be able to communicate effectively despite language differences. One way to do this is to learn some basic phrases in the client's language. For example, if you're working with a Spanish-speaking client, you might want to learn how to say hello, thank you, and please in Spanish. You should also familiarize yourself with common cultural norms and customs. This will help you avoid any potential misunderstandings. Finally, don't be afraid to use tools such as Google Translate to help you communicate. Just be sure to double-check the translations to ensure accuracy. Despite the challenges, don't let language differences stop you from connecting with potential clients. With a little effort, you can overcome any language barrier and build lasting relationships with clients all over the world. Okay, moving on to the next truth about freelancing, which is that freelancing has a social stigma that can make it difficult to get your foot in the door. Now, this is something that I've experienced firsthand, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to start my own freelancing business. I was working in corporate America, and I was tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. I was doing the same work as my colleagues, but I was paid less, and I was never considered for promotions. It was frustrating, and it made me realize that I needed to make a change. Now, I'm not saying that all companies are like this, but I am saying that it is a common experience for freelancers to be viewed as second-class citizens in traditional workplaces. It can be frustrating and disheartening, but it shouldn't stop you from pursuing a career in freelancing. There are many companies that value freelancers, and there are many jobs that can only be done by freelancers. Don't let the negativity of others hold you back. Believe in yourself and your abilities, and go after the freelancing career that you want. The next truth about freelancing is that it can be hard to find quality training. One of the biggest challenges of freelancing is finding quality training. When you're in a traditional job, you usually have access to a lot of training resources provided by your employer. But when you're self-employed, you have to find your own way. There are a lot of great resources out there, but it takes time to find them. And it's easy to get overwhelmed. One way to find quality training is to ask other freelancers for their thoughts on what works well. You can also search online for reviews of different training programs. It takes a little bit of work, but it's worth it to find training that will help you be successful in your freelancing career. The next truth about freelancing is that building a personal brand can open doors to new opportunities. Now, when I first started out, I didn't really understand the importance of branding. I thought it was something that only big businesses needed to worry about, but I soon realized that this wasn't true. Building a personal brand is important for anyone who wants to be successful as a freelancer. A strong personal brand can help you stand out from the competition and attract new clients. It can also help you charge higher rates and get more work. Building a personal brand doesn't have to be complicated. It just means putting yourself out there and sharing your skills and expertise with the world. Start by creating a strong online presence. This includes having a professional website and being active on social media. Then start writing articles or creating videos that share your knowledge. This will help you establish yourself as an expert in your field. Finally, don't be afraid to promote yourself. Let your friends, family, and colleagues know about your services. The more people who know about you, the better your chances of success. Building a personal brand takes time and effort, but the results are definitely worth it. The next truth about freelancing is that finding clients can be intimidating for new freelancers. Now, it's no secret that finding clients is one of the most challenging aspects of freelancing. When you're just starting out, it can be tough to know where to start. One of the best pieces of advice I can give to new freelancers is to start with what you know. Reach out to friends, family, and former colleagues to see if they need any help. You can also start by offering your services for free or at a reduced rate to get your foot in the door. Once you start getting some clients, be sure to ask for referrals. This is one of the best ways to find new clients. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and market your services. The more you do it, the easier it will become. The next truth about freelancing is that it can be hard to stay financially afloat, especially when you're just starting out. It can take time to build up a steady stream of clients and income. During the slow periods, it's important to have a financial safety net in place. This could mean having some savings to fall back on, or having a part-time job to supplement your income. It can be tough to stay afloat financially when you're first starting out as a freelancer, but it's important to remember that it's just a phase. With time and persistence, you'll build up a steady stream of clients and income. The next truth about freelancing is that communication can be challenging. Now, this is especially true if you work with clients from different countries or cultures. Language barriers can make communication difficult, but it's important to remember that clear and effective communication is key to overcoming these challenges. One way to improve communication is to be aware of potential cultural differences. For example, in some cultures, it's common to be more direct when communicating. In others, it's more common to be more indirect. By understanding these differences, you can tailor your communication style to better suit your clients. Another way to improve communication is to use visuals whenever possible. This could include things like diagrams, charts, or even emojis. Visuals can help to clarify meaning and avoid misunderstandings. Finally, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're not sure about something, ask your client for clarification. This is much better than trying to guess what they want. By following these tips, you can improve communication with your clients and make the whole working relationship more enjoyable. The next truth about freelancing is that freelancing can come with a social stigma. This is especially true if you're from a traditional or conservative background. Family and friends may not understand the value of freelancing and may pressure you to get a more traditional job. They may also question your ability to succeed as a freelancer and may not take you seriously as a freelancer. It can be tough to deal with this kind of negativity, but it's important to remember that you're not alone. Many freelancers face similar challenges, and it's important to persevere and prove them wrong. It may take some time, but eventually your success will speak for itself. The next truth about freelancing is that investing in quality training can lead to better opportunities. Now, when I first started out, I tried to save money by using free or low-cost training resources, but I quickly realized that this was a mistake. Investing in quality training is essential for success as a freelancer. Good training will teach you the skills you need to succeed in your chosen field, and it can also help you stand out from the competition. It may seem like a financial burden up front, but the long-term benefits are definitely worth it. The next truth about freelancing is that developing a strong personal brand can lead to more opportunities. A personal brand is simply the image that you project to the world. It's how people perceive you and your work. Developing a strong personal brand can lead to more opportunities, higher rates, and greater success as a freelancer. When potential clients search for freelancers, they're often looking for someone with a proven track record of success. A strong personal brand shows that you're an expert in your field and that you're capable of delivering results. It also helps you stand out from the competition. In a crowded marketplace, a well-developed personal brand can make you more visible and more attractive to potential clients. To develop a strong personal brand, you need to be active in your industry. Share your knowledge, network with other professionals, and build a following. By taking the time to develop a strong personal brand, you can set yourself up for success as a freelancer. Right, friends? So those are some of the truths about freelancing. Freelancing can be a challenging career, but it can also be extremely rewarding. The most important thing is to make sure that you go into it with your eyes wide open. Know what you're getting yourself into, and be prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. If you can do that, then you'll be setting yourself up for success.